So everybody's talking about the wasted expenditure by USAID, but do you know what percentage of our federal budget is USAID? 0.2%. You see how small that is? It's nothing. By the time you see me go through all the other expenditure, wasted expenditure, you're going to lose your mind. Stick around.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Are you ready to get super duper angry and wonder what in the world? All these federal employees that are like, well, what? We're losing our jobs. Oh no. Were you even doing your job? What the hell? All right, you ready to get mad? I'm already pissed off. Let's go. We're gonna check out a valuetainment PBD video talking about the absolute nonsense that our government does. I saw a little tiny chunk of an expose from CNBC, I believe it was, about the Medicaid fraud that Hector and Juan are doing to this country. It is bonkers, dude. Let's check it out.
If you value added this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Do you know, if you were to guess, how much total money per year goes into U.S. nonprofits per year? Total revenue per year, money that comes in. What do you think that number is? That number is roughly $2.68 trillion as of 2020, which means it's probably around $3 trillion. If you look at this chart, you'll notice what's happening every year from 98 till today. So you may say, Pat, where are you going with this? Who cares about nonprofits? Where do they get their money from? Who gives them the money? You may be thinking it's average billionaires, rich people, regular people giving money, churches, all. That's what it is, right? Well, let's see. When you look at the numbers, according to 2023 reports from Urban Institute, government agencies contributed 29% of nonprofit revenue in 2022. Let me see it again. Government agencies, 29% in 2022. Why are government agencies putting money into nonprofits? And who is starting nonprofits like the Clinton Foundation? Are you seeing like that kind of stuff and people put money into it and then there's side favors, but you can kind of funnel the money through and kind of owe the favors, and you're really saying they're doing that? Yes, 29%. And if you go a little bit deeper, that number is around $880 billion as of 2020. Okay.
So government entities are in that particular year in 2022 provided 29% of all funding to these NGOs in 2022 alone. What is the government getting out of giving money to NGOs? All right, let's let them cook.
So that's that part. Stay with me here. So again, it's important to know this because when you think about USAID, we think about 0.2% of the federal budget. It's only $40 to $70 billion and a smart part of the NGO boom. This is an NGO boom. Oh my God, we should start our own NGO because we get money from the US government. When you think about this chart from Statista, this shows changes in the number of non-governmental organizations with consultative status with ECOSOC from 48 to 2010. In 1948, we only had 40. Then it went to 180, then 724. Now, 3382 as of 2010. If you look at this chart, it tells you it is so popular today to start an NGO. Why? If 29% of the money is coming to you and they're not really that worried what you do with the money, the level of accountability isn't that high. Oh my God, we found an incredible loophole to get money from the government, do whatever we want to do. And then when we break down the federal budget, this is what we notice. Let's continue on the wasted expenditure. You'll notice 24% goes to health insurance, 21% Social Security, 13% defense, 13% is interest on debt, 8% benefits for veterans and federal retirees, 7% economic security program, 5 is education, and the rest falls under transportation, natural resources, agriculture, science, medical, law enforcement, international, and all other. Over the last 20 years, fiscal years, it has had an estimated $2.7 trillion in what? Improper payment. $2.7 trillion in improper payments? Yes. What does it look like every year? This is what it looks like of improper payments.
So like I was saying, if you're wondering what the government would possibly get out of allowing these systems to stay working, these systems are so ineffectual. They allow so much fraud and so much nonsense to go through the system. What does the government get? Why are the Democrats fighting so hard to allow these loopholes to stay open and allow these organizations to continue to not only take our funds and take our money and use it in whatever way they want with impunity, basically, no consequences, no accountability? Why would the government allow that? Why are the Democrats currently right now fighting to allow that to happen? I would venture to say Now, the PBD is going to go into some of the examples of some of the major fraud stories that have happened where major players have gone to jail for certain things in this realm. Now, with that said, imagine how many people are not going to jail. If it's $3 trillion, how many people are getting improper payments and improper money that are never investigated? How easy would it be for our politicians to set up their friends and their surrogates to I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying how easy would it be? It seems pretty easy for Hector and Jose to buy a storefront, black out the windows. I'll show you in a minute. But wouldn't it be simple for them to set up all these improper payments, get all this stuff, and then you direct who to be investigated and who not to be investigated? Wouldn't that be pretty simple? I don't know. I guess I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist. Yeah, they're just lying. And I saw one of the government watchdogs recently on MSNBC or somewhere crying about him losing his job, saying Donald Trump and Elon is they're getting rid of all the not all the whistleblowers. What did he say? They're getting rid of all the watchdogs. Apparently, Donald Trump he doesn't appreciate watchdogs. Dude, if you're the watchdog, what the hell are you watching? Because PBD is about to show this graph of improper payments does nothing but increase over the years. Why does this graph increase with time? Why are more and more people being sent improper payments? You wonder?
2003, it was $35 billion in improper payments. Last year was 235 improper payments. 2 years ago was 281. Record-breaking years, back to back to back in improper payments. And if we break that down by different areas of improper payments, under Medicare, it's $51 billion of improper payments. Where did they go? We don't know. Medicaid, $50.3 billion. Federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, $43 billion improper payments. You paid for it, by the way. Earned income tax credit, $22 billion. Paycheck protection programs, loan forgiveness, another $19 billion improper payments. And all of the programs, another $50 billion in improper payments. So this continues. Then we hear these stories of the Pentagon, okay? Pentagon racks up $35 trillion in accounting changes in 1 year, and they cannot account for 63% of $4 trillion of assets. DoD regularly buys parts and equipment it does not need because it can't keep track of parts and equipment it already owns. So they've already bought so many different things. They don't even know who's taking care. Like we have a lot of equipment, right? Imagine somebody has to sit there and write down all the cameras we have, the lenses we have, the equipment we have. They're not even keeping track of it. So they keep buying stuff. They don't even know what they have in their inventory. Think about how crazy that is. Again,
These are the people that want you to feel bad that Donald Trump is cutting all the federal workers and getting rid of all these people. And he doesn't want watchdogs around like they're watchdogging anything. These are the people, okay? Just do you understand what PPD just said? Just think about this. I'm going to give you a very basic example. One of our tanks, okay, don't comfort, don't admonish me. Military people, don't come and admonish me whenever I don't know proper military words and things about your stuff. Shut up. Anyway, someone that's operating a tank tells their superior, "Hey, this tank is down. The track's messed up. We need a new track for this tank." That guy goes, "Hey, my supervisor, tank number 1 is down. We need a new track for it." They have they have 6,000 tracks in inventory for this stupid tank. But what do? They call up Raytheon and order another track for this tank when we have 6,000 of them sitting in a warehouse somewhere because nobody even knows where that warehouse is or how many of those things we have, and nobody talks to each other. So we just order another one that Raytheon charges us 800% for because we'll pay it because the government pays for everything. We'll overpay for everything. That's what they're doing with our money. They're just going, you know what? I know we have 6,000 of these things. Just buy another one. Who cares? It's not our money. That's what they're doing. And then they're mad that Trump's shutting it all down and going, oh, because he doesn't want us watching stuff anymore. No, we don't want you watching shit anymore because look what you're doing.
you and I are paying for it. The Pentagon has failed. Pentagon started doing audits 7 years ago. They have never once passed one. And even in April of 2023, Jon Stewart is interviewing a lady on C-SPAN. I think it is C-SPAN. Maybe it is C-SPAN. You got to see it. Saying, hey, how is it that you guys are failing audits? And she says, well, what you don't know is there's a big difference between First of all, instead of me acting it out because you may think we're exaggerating, I just want you to watch this clip with Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart cannot believe what this lady is saying. Watch this clip for yourself.
A lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So let's decompose
Then
these
please
pieces for a
educate
moment.
me on
Sure.
what
So an audit is exactly what you just described,
Yes.
which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit or the fact that the DoD has not passed an audit is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse. That is completely false right there. So
what is
now
it
it's a question of, it's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where. That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
So in my world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think?
It's not really so much what he's supposed to think, it's more so what she wants him to think. She wants him to think, well, it's the government. Everything's totally fine. It's the government. We give them money and they do the right thing. They make everything they they make the medicine all good so your tummy feels fine. That's what the government does. And I just you just have to accept it, right? But what if the government is just sending billions of dollars, millions of dollars to dead people, making improper payments, and then not tracking down those improper payments to claw it back. And then you have a billionaire come in with his billionaire buddy, and they're going to claw back everything, all the waste, all the fraud, all the nonsense. And then all of a sudden, all these politicians are like, "Hey, stop looking at all the fraud. Stop that. I know we said we want to go after fraud and cut waste, but we really don't. And now that you're doing it, it's embarrassing us. Please stop it." That's basically what they're doing. And what's next? Fort Knox. The next thing is going to be, you can't check. Who gave you the right to check Fort Knox for our gold reserves? No one elected you. But we did, though. All right, before we go back to PBD, what about the Medicaid stuff? Did you see those numbers on Medicaid? And you're going to think to yourself, it's Medicaid fraud. These are white collar crimes. These are big corporations that are charging too much. It's big corporations that are saying, "Oh, Jimmy needs a cast," and this cast, even though it's like plaster of Paris nonsense, little $2 worth of materials, this cast costs $10,000 now. Okay, these are white collar crimes. These are guys sitting on super yachts, right? Is that what it is? No, it's Hector and Jose in that storefront that doesn't do anything next to Wings to Go, like next to between Wings to Go and Subway, that place where you never, that business that never has anyone coming in and out of, and it has blacked out windows, but like sometimes during the day, the sun hits it a certain way where you can see there's a desk in there and just an empty chair. Yeah, that's who's taking all of our money.
This is the face of healthcare fraud in America. A Miami businessman smiling as he counts stolen Medicare money in this video secretly recorded by a government informant. From sham storefronts to empty offices billing the government for Medicare.
What is this business?
To buried millions in cash. The business of stealing Medicare and Medicaid dollars has never been as brazen.
What are we talking, $100 billion?
That's probably a conservative number.
Why Medicare fraud?
It's easy. It's unbelievable. It's very easy.
You're about to learn that if you simply have a storefront, a fax machine, and a computer, you could be in a room by yourself, pounding away on a keyboard, sending bills to welfare insurance, government assistance insurance, and for elderly people, the Medicare for older people, and just submit claim. Jolie got a broken arm. Timmy got a broken ankle, and just sit there and submit claims all day long for people. They'll take your name, your social security number, however way they get that data, and they just start submitting claims like you need dental work done, and your wrist is broken, and there's a bill here for this doctor's office for $8,000, and the government just goes, here you go.
He's one of some 450 special agents nationwide from the Office of Inspector General who fight a healthcare fraud battle every day. Annually, estimated Medicare and Medicaid fraud tops $100 billion. Durable medical equipment, DME. Think braces and wheelchairs. Fraudsters buy lists of patients and doctors so they can steal from the government.
And with those two key pieces of information, it can sit at a place that has open Wi-Fi and just start submitting claims to Medicare.
In South Florida alone, Perez Ibar says about 90% of the DME companies are fraudulent.
Yeah, you heard that right. That dude is tracking down things in Miami, and did he say Miami or Florida? I'm not positive what he said there, but 90% of DME companies are fraudulent. 90% of the companies claiming to make the DME and administer the DME stuff for cash, whatever. Well, it's just the materials. 90% of them are not even real.
He had two businesses here?
He had two businesses set up here. So we're at 241 is what, but if you can notice, this is kind of the business.
It looks so nondescript.
It is, and that's purposeful. And they want to try to keep us off their trail.
A storefront once used to bilk the government out of $48 million in a single year, run by the guy counting the money.
He thought he was a CEO when in fact he was just a crook.
We find exactly what investigators describe.
There's a desk, perhaps there's a bit of a curio with one or two different types of braces. They'll have the manuals that Medicare requires, and usually there's some type of partition if, let's say, we're talking about orthotics, because the patient is supposed to come in and actually get fitted. That's the DME company. Most times we show up, there's nobody there, or if there is someone there, they have no clue what business they are representing or how it even operates.
Agents shut one down and new ones pop up. In this business, which has been billing Medicare for durable medical equipment, we find a young woman sitting alone at a desk.
Hi, how are you? I'm Contessa Brewer. I'm with CNBC. What is this business?
The woman says it's a medical supply store, but she has nothing to do with the actual business. And the only thing she can show us right now is a brace. She gives us a business card for the owner. I call the number, but it rings at the desk inside.
Hi, this is Contessa Brewer from CNBC. We just talked a minute ago. This is the number you gave me to call to talk to Antonio.
I leave a message for the owner, who we eventually reach weeks later. He says all the durable medical equipment is ordered through another company after the patient sees a doctor. He refuses to give more information. But government records show the company has billed more than $2 million to Medicare, mostly for wound care.
Listen, no disrespect to Hector and Jose and Julio, but if Hector, Jose, and Julio can buy a laptop, steal the Wi-Fi from the business upstairs while they're in the basement and black out their windows and just submit claims to the government, and the government just pays them, and then the government decides who they go after and who they don't go after, why would not politicians and surrogates of politicians not join the fray and not join it? You saw those improper payment numbers go up. You saw those I'm gonna button the video up. Links will be in the description for Patrick Bet David's video and that CNBC expose they did last year on the medical stuff. And this is the point of the video. If that's happening with the Medicaid stuff and the Medicare stuff, where Hector and Jose can sit in a room that has Wi-Fi and just submit claims to the government, and a government employee just issues those payments for, $1,000 for a cast, for $2,000 for DME, for a patient somewhere. You think they won't do that for the military industrial complex? You think there's not an employee or a surrogate of a politician somewhere at Raytheon or at one of the other big military places that won't just submit a claim, just won't sit there and say, "Oh, the military needs this $1 million thing," and then they just send that money out, and there's no accountability on where that money went. Did anyone even get a helicopter? Did anyone even request that money? Where's the money at now? No one freaking knows. No one knows. They don't know. And Jon Stewart's whole point to the woman during that interview, I forgot to mention, was if she basically just wanted it to be okay. She just wanted it to be okay that she can't explain where any of this stuff went, because don't worry, they're definitely using it. It's not the same. But Jon Stewart's point was, if I entrust you, and this is why the point of the video is, if you're a taxpayer, you need to be mad about this, and you need to demand answers. And if Elon and Trump is going to give us the answers, then so damn be it. So damn be it. Oh god damn it. It doesn't matter who gives us the answers. Someone has to give us the answers, because the money is disappearing. The money is flying out the window. They're burning this money in a furnace. But whenever we need it for something for our emergencies, they always have real short arms. They got long pockets and short arms. It's kind of strange. So I think if Hector and Jose is doing this, I think that Craig, Craig and David are as well on their yachts, and it's on a scale that we cannot even fathom, guys. They are stealing money. If Hector and Jose can do it and slide by under the radar, Craig and Jimmy are doing it, dude, and they're doing it way bigger than Hector and Jose are, because Hector and Jose don't want to get caught. Jimmy and Craig and Dave know that no one's coming for them. The children of these people, Schumer, all these people that got $1 million net worths, but only make $100,000 a year. You think they're not tied to none of this? Why do you think they leave the loopholes open? Okay, I'll end the video here, because that's enough to make me absolutely sick. Do you pay taxes? Are you a taxpayer? Go watch these 2 videos that I linked down in the description, and you're gonna be sick. This was just, I just touched on the little tippy tip. Go watch the rest of the videos. You'll see. We may look at them deeper. I just wanted to introduce you to them. Go check them out.